Seals like pavlova made from coffee-flavoured cheesels.
What?
And Trump can be a turnip.
You can't say that.
I just did. Most people have something that they'd really like to learn, but they just haven't gotten around to starting yet. That is exactly why I'm talking to you today. At DP Learn Now, we believe that the hardest part of learning something new is just finding the time to begin. So, I will show you that it's possible to learn something new today, in whatever spare time you do have, by beginning the 1 hour learning challenge. This is where I try to learn a new skill by practicing for just 1 hour. Oh, did you see my tie today? It's covered in lots of little tiny pears. Today, I want to learn to recite all of the prime ministers. No, not prime ministers. Wrong country. Today, I want to learn to recite all of the presidents of the United States in order.
What do you want to learn that for?
Because I want to. Learning is much more effective when it's something that you want to learn.
I will be using a mnemonic, which is a memory device for remembering large chunks of information.
Let's complete the pretest. I will recite as many of the American presidents' names as I can remember at the moment. I know that in Mount Rushmore, there's Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, Roosevelt. That's 4, nearly 10% of the way. Trump, Obama, George Bush, Clinton, George Bush Sr. Who was before that? There was Nixon. Ronald Reagan. There's a great scene from Back to the Future where they mention Ronald Reagan. I think that's about it. I'm having trouble thinking of any more. So how many was that? Okay, I think I got 11. If it's not 11, I'll write the proper number right here. Let's see if I can move. So now, let's see if I can increase that to 100% of the American presidents in order, because my pretest definitely wasn't in order. I'll be using a mnemonic, which is a memory device for recalling large chunks of information. I've done this once before with the Prime Ministers of Australia. Let me show you what I did. To recall all of the Australian Prime Ministers in order, all I need is one silly sentence. And here it is. British dragons would rarely find celery houses because seals like pavlova made from coffee-flavoured cheesels. However, mercenaries generally make whistles for highly knowledgeable Hungarian rodents. Everybody understand? Right, good, that's the end of the video. Sorry, there is more to the video. Please don't go yet. Here is how I use that silly sentence. Let's have a look. My sentence will run down this column. The first initial I'll rewrite here, and then I'll show you the Australian Prime Minister's name here. Let's get this information into that table. Quick smart. Okay, here is my silly sentence. Now I take the first letter of each word and put that in the middle column here. Let's go. Now I take this initial here and that tells me the first letter of each Prime Minister's surname. Let's fill them in.
Barton, Deacon, Watson, Reed.
Keating, Howard, Rudd. And that takes me up to the Prime Minister who was in charge when I made this mnemonic. And the rest, for me, are quite easy because they're well within living memory. So after Rudd, we had Abbott, then Gillard, and then Turnbull, and currently we have Morrison. So that's how I can recall the 30 Australian Prime Ministers, but can I do that for all of the American presidents? Because there are many more American presidents. There's only one way to find out. Let's begin. Okay, next. New background. Okay, I can work with this. The next step.
Next, I need a word to go with each president's surname, and preferably the words in order make sense as a sentence.
It can still be a silly sentence, but it has to work as a sentence. Now, I think for Obama, we can use the word outstanding, and Trump can be a turnip.
You can't say that.
I just did. Okay, let's fast forward the next part, and I'll tell you my sentence once it is created. First, I wrote down the first letter of each president's surname. That's what I'm looking at on my phone. The next step is to turn all of these letters into one flowing sentence. I used two techniques for this. If something stands out, just put it in. I actually made the letter L stand for Lincoln. Because of that part of the sentence, a person's name fit in very nicely. And that just gives me one less thing to remember. From there, just fill in the gaps. With my silly sentence now complete, all I need to do is remember the sentence and remember the surnames of the presidents. I write down both of these as much as I can in the remaining time.
Oh, thank goodness you're still here. I've come from the future. The sentence is finished. Let me share it with you. Walter ate Jamie's magnificent muffin after jogging backwards. He then planted 10 flamingo plants because Lincoln just got his giraffe at Costco. However, my robot told Walter he couldn't have radishes, thus ensuring Koala juggled 9 frogs because robots can't buy outstanding turnips. And don't you forget it. One other thing, in the future, they have Harry Potter ties. Bye for now.
Now, my time is up. It is time to prove my worth. Can I recite more presidents now than I could just 1 hour ago? Stick around and let's find out. I found my silly sentences very easy to recall, probably because it was so silly, makes it stand out. So straight away I had all of the president's initials in front of me. All I had to do then was match the initials with the surnames that I had running through my head. Okay, here are the results after 1 hour. I managed to list 33 presidents out of 45, and 29 of these were in the correct order. This is much better than the pretest, where I could only recall 10 presidents, with one of those being in the correct order. So there we go. I greatly improved my recollection of the US presidents by completing the 1 hour learning challenge. What should I learn next week? Put it in the comments down below. And remember, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Oh, thank goodness you're still here. I've come from the future. Sky, stop it. Sky. No. No. Oh, thank goodness you're still here. I've come from the future. The sentence is finished. Sky.